Hey, friends, welcome to another special bonus episode of the Heal You podcast. You know, it's Behçet's Awareness Month, and as someone navigating life with this rare and often misunderstood illness, I thought it was about time to set the record straight. So today we're breaking down 5 common myths about people living with Behçet's disease. And your girl, I'm going to give you the real talk behind each one, at least from my perspective and from my experience. Whether you're living with it yourself, supporting someone who is, or just here to learn, thank you for showing up. This matters, and we matter. All right, let's get into it. Myth number 1. Oh, this one, it stings. But you don't look sick. My answer to that, this one hits kind of hard. Behçet's is an invisible illness. Most of the pain, fatigue, and flare-ups happen in the inside. Some days I may look completely fine, like this morning. Even smiling, functioning, posting, but that doesn't mean I'm not battling something behind the scenes. Looking fine doesn't mean we're not fighting, because every day we are. This myth reminds us to stop judging illness based on appearance. Instead, lead with compassion. There were days I would walk into work with my hair done, outfit on point, my 3 to 4 inch heels on, and a smile that could always light up the room. But inside, I was exhausted and in so much pain. I remember once someone said to me, "You can't be that sick. You always look cute." And while I laughed it off at the time, it stung. Because they didn't see me curled up at night, crying from all of the pain, or barely able to eat sometimes because of the mouth sores. Looking good, friends, it became my armor, but it wasn't my truth. And eventually I realized I needed to place my health first, not just think about what others think. And I slowly learned to wear shoes that match my energy level and to take wellness days to help me get through some of my most painful moments. Myth number 2. Oh, it's just mouth sores, right? It's just mouth sores? No, and no again. Yes, recurrent mouth sores are a symptom, but Behçet's affects so much more. It can impact blood vessels, joints, skin, eyes, my GI tract, my belly, and even the brain. Behçet's is a multi-system disease, and symptoms vary widely from person to person. It's unpredictable, and that's what makes it so difficult. Behçet's, friends, isn't a one-symptom condition. It's complex, it's systemic, and it deserves to be taken seriously. It really does. My journey didn't start with mouth sores. No, it started with inflammation, fatigue, and strange symptoms that didn't seem to connect. And it still feels that way a lot. I've had eye issues, the joint swelling that felt like arthritis, or at least that's what the doctors say, and even neurological episodes. Times where I blank out or can't remember things or feel like I'm just in this black haze or walking through this room of white smoke, and I can't figure out what's ahead of me, what's next, what's to the right of me, or what's to the left of me. The mouth sores, though, they came later. But by then, I already knew this disease was far beyond what people assumed. I was experiencing a lot. It's not just uncomfortable, Behçet's is disruptive and sometimes really, really scary. It's draining and hard to figure out, especially when you're where I am. You're in your early 50s and your symptoms are a lot like, perimenopause, menopause life, or just life in general. Myth number 3. Oh, you're probably just stressed. If I had $1 for every time someone said something like that to me, I would be rich at this point. Here's the kicker. Stress doesn't cause Behçet's, and it's not in our heads. Yes, stress can trigger flares. That is true. Just like with many other chronic illnesses. But Behçet's, friends, is an autoimmune, auto-inflammatory disorder. That means our immune systems are attacking our own bodies. This isn't about mindset or what type of mood I am in. It's medical. So let's stop gaslighting people with chronic illnesses. One commitment you can make. We're not being dramatic. We're actually being honest when we choose to express to you how we're feeling. I've had doctors, professionals, tell me to relax more or try yoga instead of actually listening to my symptoms. They're not my doctors anymore. And while I love me the holistic path and have implemented a lot of tools into my everyday, out of nowhere, nothing's going on, I feel great. Here comes a flare. And I spend days trying to figure out what's happening. That alone won't stop a Behçet's flare. Relaxing. It just comes out of nowhere. I've had my own challenges and continue to have my own challenges, even right now, with figuring out what the heck is going on. Can you imagine that being a part of your every cycle of life? Feeling like crap and you can't even figure it out, much less rely on professionals who aren't aware enough of how these illnesses work, figure something out to help you. That's the reality, friends. Symptoms can appear and you can think it's something weird, something simple, and it's actually a flare. Your body is attacking itself. It's a challenge. All right. Myth number 4. Oh, you're too young to be dealing with all that. Really? Really, you guys? Illness doesn't come with an age requirement. I was diagnosed as an adult, finally at the age of 29. But many who are dealing with these illnesses experience symptoms much earlier. A lot of times as a young child, sometimes as a teenager. It's different depending on the individual. But no matter when it hits, Behçet's forces you to adjust your life, your schedule, and sometimes your identity. It's hard. Whether you're 5, 10, 20, or 60, it's hard. And here's something to remember. Chronic illness doesn't discriminate. And age should never be used to dismiss someone else's pain or your own. I've definitely had people tell me I'm too young to be tired. One, sometimes they don't understand how old I am. Or too vibrant to be sick. When I'm vibrant, I take that as a kudos because that means I'm having a pretty good day. And while I get it, people are only complimenting me in the way that they feel is appropriate. It completely misses the point. I'm currently in the prime of my life. I'm building a brand, a community, being a mom, a BB, a pet mom, and attempting to walk into the dating scene again. Another story, different day. And yes, I'm doing all of that while managing a chronic illness. I've had to learn to restructure my days, conserve my energy, and be selective with my yes. And no, I don't always get it right. But that, my friend, isn't a sign of weakness. I've learned that that is wisdom. Last one, myth number 5. You should be better by now. What? Woo, if I had another dollar for every time I heard this. Behçet isn't something you just get over. It's lifelong. There's no cure. Only management helps us. Some days are good, friends. Some aren't. Healing for us isn't linear. It's all about learning how to deal with the ups and downs and still finding joy in the middle of it all. Progress looks different for everyone. How I'm able to manage it versus another person I know with the same diagnosis, how they're handling it could be different versus someone dealing with any other chronic illness. Some things I may do may work for them, some things may not. That is how it works in the chronic illness community. Let's learn how to give each other a little grace. And for me, to hear it sometimes hurts the most because it usually comes from people who genuinely care and they mean well. But I've had friends, colleagues, and even family wonder why I'm still sick. Or they look at me like a deer in headlights. Guess what? Just like you want me to feel better, I want to be better. I do everything I can. Rest, eat well, take meds, pray, move my body, advocate. But this disease doesn't clock out, friends. It has no office hours. I've gotten so much better in this current state. I'm so much better than I was 5 years ago. And for me, when I look at that, that's progress. I've learned more than anything that healing is not a finish line. It's a lifestyle. And my version of better might not look like what others expect it to be. 5 myths, friends, to kind of help in understanding Behçet's disease and other chronic illnesses. I share this not to complain, not at all, not to shine, but to shine a light, to help in educating, to advocate and uplift through my own journey of living with Behçet's. Because it isn't easy. And everyone doesn't always have someone who's there to be their support system, to be their advocate, to learn about what it means to take care of yourself when dealing with any type of illness. But I found strength in just being honest about my illness, to understand that healing is self-awareness and community. And community is sharing and supporting one another. So if you're navigating this illness or any illness or love someone who is, I see you. I appreciate you for listening. And you're not alone. We're doing the best we can. 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. But more than anything, I've learned to embrace my life, even though it may look different than I expected. But my life, friends, is still rich with purpose, joy, and happiness. It's rich with power. My life is all about growth, and I appreciate that. Stay tuned, friends, for more bonus segments this month as we focus on raising awareness for Behçet's disease. Until then, continue to spread the word, share this podcast, stay kind, stay curious, and most of all, please continue to keep healing forward.